Good afternoon, YouTube. DutyRon checking in on the mobile with StreamYards. I don't usually use StreamYards on the mobile, but I'm using it today. Hope it goes well. I hope you guys can hear me. If you could just give me a quick confirmation on the audio, as maybe putting in a yes or a thumbs up in the chat. If you guys can hear me okay. I never use StreamYards with my Android device. It's a little different than with iOS. So I want to say a special thank you to my Patreon supporters, my channel members, and everybody who positively interacts on all of these live streams. I think my audio is good. Maybe a thumbs up or a hello, or you can hear me. Thank you, Outlandish. Good to see you. Let me scroll back to see who was first here. Angela Gondolfo is here. Thank you so much for being here. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody who positively interacts in the streams all the time. Paul Peck Drywall, great to see you. Hello, Crystal, Diane. Again, quickly, let's get a quick roll call here and see who's checking in during the middle of the day in the United States, throughout the country, throughout the world. This is about the boys. I got my banners today from Roe Roe. I wanted to say a special thank you to Jennifer Nobles, and Roe Roe for sending out the banners. Hello from Virginia. Good to see you, Tahoe. UK, says Sue Cooper. Hello from Oregon. Great to see you, Virginia. Thank you for joining. New Jersey. Hey, how are you? Good to see you from Virginia. Mimi J2, good to see you. Washington, D.C., Tehachapi is in the building. Sarah, good to see you. Australia. Hi, Karen. Good to see you, 56. Karen, hope we can connect soon. Los Angeles, California. Enlighten One, hello. Good to see you. Thank you. Ohio. Hello from Ireland, from Claire Smith. Louisiana. Salinas, California. Amanda Hernandez. Great to see you. Laurel, Mississippi. Hi, Linda Taylor. Rita Schaefer from Pennsylvania. Belfast, Northern Ireland, says Samantha. McDowell, good to see you. Nice Italian name there. Hello from Ripley, Ohio. Good to see you. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Lompoc, California, says Ernestin. Good to see you. Thank you. Colorado, Virginia, Modesto, California, with the New York 2016. Thank you for coming. All right, I'll get right into it. I want to just talk to you guys about what I have going on. Hello, Rose from Utah. Terrible news out of Utah. In Ogden, Utah, a 39-year-old mother of one, young woman on the news, took the second COVID vaccine and passed away 4 days later. Took the second Moderna COVID vaccine. I read it today in the news. It just made me my heart sink for her small little daughter and her father. But I saw that on the national news today. A young woman from Ogden, Utah, took her second Moderna shot and died 4 days later. So terrible. I don't want it to be a discouragement from anybody from taking the vaccine, but I'm going to get my second Moderna on April 2nd. And it made me think, oh my God, terrible, terrible news. All right, let's get right into it. The reason I made this video is I had my son. He had the day off from work. I had him go over to my P.O. box. Yeah, some people won't trust the shot. Some people do. Thank you, None Your Business, for being in here. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. All right. Good to see you from New Zealand, Letitia. Thank you for being in here. All right. So my son went over to the P.O. box today, and I was happy to see a bunch of correspondence from a lot of different people. Sydney, thank you for subscribing from Colorado Springs. I appreciate you being in here. He went to the P.O. box, and there was 5 of the boys' banners in there. I'm going to go to New York City and try to hang one at the police station in Times Square, and I'm going to put one in the back of my background at the in my studio back at home. Manitoba in Canada. Good to see you guys. So let's take a quick poll. Listen. I was hesitant about the COVID shot. Let's take a quick poll. This has nothing to do with the boys, but we'll get right back to the boys after this. Let's take a quick poll in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you are going to get the vaccine Put a 2 if you would definitely not get it. Let me just see. I'm just curious. A 1 if you would take the vaccine if it was available to you, and a 2 if you wouldn't take it even if it was available. I just want to see. I'm curious. Okay, there's the 2s. There's the 1, 2s, 1. All right, looks like we're pretty split here. I think it's 50-50. It looks. Someone put 2. Never. Wow. Okay. 2 because I have MS. 1.5 says Janet Lynn. I was waiting for a 1.5. All right, so maybe a little bit more of the 1s, but it looked like it was about 50-50. If I had a choice, I wouldn't take it, says Boxing MMA. Okay. Allergic. Give me the option. I'm allergic. Give that option, please. There's no option. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So looks like we're up in the air. A couple of people put in some 3s and a couple of people put in a 1.5. But it looked like it was about 50-50. Maybe a little bit more for not taking it at all. All right. So let's get back into what the live stream is about. So in the mail today came the 5 banners that Roe Roe said that she was going to send me. Her and Jennifer sent it out. It came in my P.O. box. I'm happy that I got them. We still have the sign that we're sponsoring until April 2nd. And coincidentally, April 2nd is my second vaccine, my second shot of the Moderna will be April 2nd. And our sign in Lancaster stays live until that day, until April 2nd. So we have the digital board up in Lancaster, California. And I understand there's other boards that went up in Kansas City, I believe. Don't crucify me if I got the city wrong. I mean, the state wrong, Kansas City. I believe that there was 2 signs sponsored by a very generous channel over in Kansas. It's now starting to spread. Now in New York, I'm going to try to hang up. In New York, I'm going to try to hang up one of the banners over at the police station in Times Square. So we're trying to get the word and we're trying to spread the message about the boys nationwide, not just by television. Hello, Diane. Good to see you, Dookie. Thank you for being in here, Diane B. My dad is 86 and he got the Moderna shot and no reaction. Thank God. Check with your prescribing doctor. I already checked with him. Okay, so I was happy to get the banners. There's no new news as far as I know. I looked. I made a couple of phone calls. I looked before I went live. So there's nothing new in this case. We know that behind the scenes, Bakersfield and the FBI are doing their due diligence, and we hope that sooner than later, we're hoping and praying sooner than later that we get some resolve in this case. Hello, Calcutta. Good to see you. I'm hoping that sooner than later, the bracelets come out over in Bakersfield. I'm hoping that 2 pairs of these bracelets will be coming out in Bakersfield, and we hear this. That's what I'm hoping for. Hi, Bonnie from Scotland. Good to see you. All right, let me look at the chat now because everybody's saying hello to each other. We're praying for the Smith & Wesson cuffs to come out very soon so we can get some closure on this case. Hello, Gerda from Johannesburg, South Africa. Great to see you. Dominica says that's music to her ears. Hello, Connie. Trevi from Chicago. Good to see you. Gil. Thank you, Gil. Appreciate that. Now, if my good friend Mary London was here, she would tell me to put these away. She can't stand the sound of these. She can't stand Mary London from the United Kingdom. She cannot stand the sound of these cuffs. She is, matter of fact, when I pulled these cuffs out, the last live stream I did, She left me a message. Thank God I wasn't there live because I would have left. I was doing this in one of previous streams about 2 years ago. We were covering another really bad case, and I was talking about the handcuffs coming out. And she, when I was clicking these cuffs, she was like, "Please." The sound of it is like nails on a chalkboard. Um, but I hope these guys, I hope these cuffs get used sooner than later. Somebody said that they can't stand the cuffs either. The silver the bracelets. Book them, Danny. Book them, Dano. Um, Amanda, that's not true. They're not making a documentary or a movie about the missing boys. That's not true. That is not true. I looked into that. That is not true. Anyways, I think Gerda from South Africa said that she can't stand the noise of these. So I'll stop doing it. So Mary London, no flashback. She's an honest citizen of the United Kingdom. So she's a very law-abiding citizen. Good to see you, Vinny, over at Gilroy, the Garlic Fest capital of the world, Gilroy, California. Hello, Froggy. Good to see you, Frog. Push eye on weather. All right. So by a show of hands, who wants to see these things in action sooner than later on this case? By a show of hands, who wants to see double bracelets come out sooner than later? You could just put a thumbs up in the chat if you want to see these things come out and get put to use. I'm hoping and praying. I'm hoping and praying every day. I'm hoping and praying that they can get to the bottom of it. I don't care who gets collared. I don't care who's arrested. I want some closure. I want those boys. I want to find them. I want to bring them home, and we want closure. And to get the closure, unfortunately, these are going to have to get used. Thank you. Thank you for the multicolored thumbs up. I love to see the different skin tones, the different colors. I love and welcome all of you. All of you are always welcome here every day, all day, every day. Everybody's welcome here. Thank you. Thank you. Let me take that message off of review right there. I'll show that. Thank you. So, again, I wish that there was more for me to report here. I really wish there was more to report and more to talk about. But it's important that we keep the boys in the media. We got to keep the boys on social media. That's why I asked that if you're not following me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all one word, DutyRon, subscribe to my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter so you could see when I share these videos. Share it onto your social media platforms, because the more people that see and hear about these boys, please, that's what we need to do as citizens and civilians. This is what we need to do. Yeah, so Nay_folk, there is no documentary being made on these boys. That is not anything that I've been able to verify through legitimate sources. I asked actually the other night. I asked Dustin Contreras, who's a law enforcement officer in Kern County Sheriff's. I asked him about it, and he said that would be ridiculous to even think about that, because nobody's going to do a documentary or a film on boys that are still missing and that have not been recovered and that have not had any closure to the family. Think about that message. All right, let me break it down. Okay, let me break this down, because I didn't think that I have to, but I'm gonna right now. Okay, we're all adults, and us have our marbles in our head, right? So if you think about it, okay, who in their right mind, what company is going to back up, what film company is going to back up a project about these boys when they could be still alive somewhere out in the middle of anywhere? They could be recovered. We just talked about a boy who was recovered in Tennessee after 460 days of him being missing. Do you think some film company or some movie company would start to do a documentary on that boy? He was recovered 460 days later. So think about it, folks. Don't be sheep. Don't listen to everything that you hear. And I'm not putting down anybody who's talked about this. I'm not saying that anybody, just use your head. It doesn't take much, man. This is simple, common sense. Be a thinker. Be a critical thinker. Who is going to create a documentary on kids that are outstanding, that are we still don't know what happened to them? Now, if we knew what happened to them, then I would say, yeah. You have no person of interest, nobody arrested. There's no reason to think that there was any type of documentary being made. That is absolute, utter insanity to even think that, to even speak about it. So that being said, this is what we want. We want these bracelets to come out, and whoever's responsible for the disappearance of these boys to be brought to justice. I don't care if it's one person or if it's 10 people or if it's 2 people, but we want to get down to the bottom of what happened, where they are, and who's responsible for their disappearance and who's responsible for what happened to them. So I want to wish you guys a lot of love and respect. Also consider going over to my Facebook page. I have a police and crime chat group. It's very informative. I have a Discord group and I have a Patreon. In my Patreon, you'll get a link to my Discord where there is COVID-19 pages, there's music pages, there's crime pages on my Discord. There's a talking group on my Discord where we have intelligent discussions without live streams and without hoopla on my Discord group. Go over to DutyRon.com where you can sign up for all of my social media and get yourself informed with verified information from a law enforcement perspective. If you're interested in finding out things all from a law enforcement perspective and from a sensible side, consider subscribing to my channel. Consider subscribing to my social media. Go on over to DutyRon.com and check out all of the links that are on there. You'll find every video that I've created for the boys on there and all of my previous cases that I've covered over the past 2 years. I've been on YouTube for over 2 years, and I've covered literally dozens upon dozens of cases of criminal cases and missing person cases. We have our billboard up, sponsored by all of you over in Lancaster, in California. We also have a $3,000 reward for the return or recovery of Orin and Orson West Sincere and Classic. That's all come from the goodness of this channel. So all of the super chats, all of the people who use Patreon, all of the people who become channel members, all of the people who just watch and let the ads play, that's your fundage working towards a good cause. So if you're interested in those kind of things, then consider subscribing to this community here. So I'm going to wish you guys a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. And also God bless all victims of crime throughout the world. I appreciate each and every one of you being in here. Love and respect from New York City. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.